please, and thank you. Okay, so here's, you're gonna see this on multiple ACs, okay? So this is how you approach this. You ready? The first number you want to fill into this, because you're kind of like trying to eliminate things you need to figure out, is the median. The median is the middle. That's your first step. So you're gonna put that 7 right here, okay? The median is right there. So I don't know if you want to go arrow. That's the first number I put in. So that would already give you a mark, okay, technically. And you have numbers 1 to 9 to figure out the rest. So the next step is what you want to figure out is your mode. What is your mode? That's your second step. And it's 9. So 9 should be the most popular number in your set. Which side of 7 will the 9 be? On the right, because median needs to be arranged, right? So that means that I have to have 2 9s, right? I have to fill that in with 9s. So far, that's your mode. And the last piece is your, so I'm going to put mode goes in here, right? I basically covered it there. And the third piece is figuring out your mean, okay? What is going to be the average, guys? Watch this. How many numbers are you going to divide to get your average? You're going to have to divide it by 5 because there are 5 numbers. And what part do I know out of this whole equation here? I know that I want an average of 6, correct? So you plug that in there. And so you get 6 is equal to blank over 5. Right? You put that in. So now you need to go 6 times 5, right? You're going to multiply both sides by 5. 5 here, 5 there. So you want a sum of 30. Okay, that's what you want. You want all these numbers to add up to 30 because if you go 30 divided by 5, you get that 6 that you're after. Okay, so you take the numbers that you already have, minus 9, minus 9, minus 7. What are you left with? 9 and 9 is 18. 7 is 25, right? So you're left with 5 left over. So you need to make sure that these two numbers add up to 5. Okay? So there are options. What can we use? We could use 2 and 3, right? So you could say 2, 3, and make sure they're arranged. It matters if you put 3, 2 or 2, 3, right? Or what else could you have put down there? You could have said a 1 and 4, right? If you put 1, 4, that works as well. You could have done, that's it, right? 5 and 0, but 0 is not an option because you have only numbers 1 to 9 to choose from. Okay, so that's basically how I do it. One more. I will do it quicker actually now. Median is 5, so you put the 5 there. Your mode is 3. 3 is less than the median, right? So it should be on the left side. And how many numbers do you have? 5 numbers. So I'm going to go times 5 numbers, which is going to give me 25. And from the 25, I'm going to subtract 3, 3, and the 5. So this is 6 and 5, that's 11. So this must be 14 left. Okay, so these two numbers, because you want all of this to add up to 25, because if you go 25, right, the sum is 25 divided by 5, you will get that average you're after. So 14 is what these two need to add up to. This adds up to 11, so this must add up to 14 so that you have your total of 25, right? So you can pick from 1 to 9. So you could pick, I could do 6 and 9, right? No, sorry, 6 and 8. 6 and 8 adds up to 14. You could do, what else do we have? 5 and 9. 5 and 9 you could have picked. 5 and 9 also add up to 14. 6 and 8 add up to 14. Do I have any other ones? You could do 7 and 7, right? But what's the problem if you do 7 and 7? Mode, it conflicts with the mode here. Then you have two modes, and that's a problem, right? So 7 and 7 is not an option. Okay. You want to try one more on your own, the third one, now that we've done two, because it's going to be on the AC. There's going to be one like this on the AC. So try filling this in based on what we've just done. I'll give you 3 minutes. That's all it should really take. All right. Using numbers 1 to 20 here, so you have more options, right? 1 to 20. So you want an average of 10, a median of 11, boom, right? A mode of 5. And since the median is telling you, right, the median is the line that tells you half or below, half or above it. So you must keep it arranged, right? So 5, 5 would go in there. Now you have a mode. And so when you're given the average, look at how many blanks there are. If there are 7 blanks, then you have to take the average times 7, right? In this case, all of them are 5, but you want the sum. You want the sum to be 50. You're working backwards in a sense, right? So then you take away the 5, take away another 5, take away 11. That gives you 20. This is 20, that's 30, 29, yeah. So you must make sure that these two add up to 29 no matter what. You know that these two add up to 21, right? But together they give you that 50 that you're after, right? You want to do that, right? 50, 50, right? I have the 25 and the 25, right? Like that's what you're after. And you have options here. So this could be 13 and 16, right? 13 and 16 would give you 29. You could do 12 and why am I drawing a blank? 17, sorry. Yikes. It's been a long. 14, 15, thank you. Yeah, 14, 15 also so the bigger this range, the more choices you will have, right? And so in my key, I will have all choices, and then I mark you accordingly. Just make sure you don't go 16, 13, you flip that. That would not get you a mark, okay? It needs to be arranged, and that is that, okay? Okay, so we'll pause here for a bit. We'll keep going with this kind of idea, but we'll pause here. Okay. So keep that in mind. You go to page 113 right now, and you make sure you highlight that, because on the test, I will not allow you to just guess. Some students are going to try to guess, and yes, I know if you try long and hard, you will find out what that number is that you need, but I need you to show that algebraically. That's the point. Okay, so working backwards, mean, write this down. Mean or average is given. That's a dead giveaway for, hey, this is going to be a backwards, by the way, right? You tell yourself, like, oh yeah, I got this. Mr. Durkin showed me how to do this. No big deal. So in a football game, there's some offensive drives here, so they're giving you a bunch of values, right? The coach wants the team to achieve a mean of 35 yards per drive. So this is what you're looking for. Right? Like credit card companies. I used to apply for them, and then they would reject me. And then they'd be like, I would be like, why? Right? And they say, well, we need your average income to be, I don't know, 60,000 a year, and yours isn't, right? And so there's kind of the same idea. You want there to be a certain average. This coach wants the 35 yard per drive. And so is that going to happen? What needs to be done for that to be the case? So what must the length of the next offensive drive be to meet the goal? Right? The goal is 35 yards per drive. Just to reiterate that. So that's your average, right? So what you do is you just take the formula, right? Average is sum of drives divided by number of drives. That's plain and simple. That's the formula for average, right? Simple enough, sure. Right? And so I'm going to use this and say, hey, that is this. That pink tells me is like, hey, that I actually have a number for the average. So I'm going to substitute that in. I'm going to say that's supposed to be 35. That's what I want. And on the other side, there's going to be one missing piece. One missing piece. How many drives would I have to consider? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 drives, right? But it says, what must the next drive be here? What must be the next offensive drive be? Yes, there are 6. So let's do that here. 45 plus 43 plus 24. I just want you to have this so you can see it, right? Plus 44 plus, I'm going to put an X here for the next drive. Next drive. Okay. I'm technically adding up 6. I just don't know what that has to be yet. And so you divide this by 6 drives. It's like this is exactly the same as what do I need to score on my final exam to pass? What would this number be if you want a pass? A 50, right? 50%. So I already scored this much on all these tests. What do I have to have on that last test to pass the course, right? Same idea, right? So we're going to go 35 is equal to, let's add this up, right? So you know, right, 45 plus 43 plus 24 plus 21 plus 44, that's 177 plus x is equal to over 6, sorry, like that. So this part, there's no manipulation yet. And here's where the math comes in. Ready? You want to get rid of, every time in algebra, you want to get rid of what's dividing. So what we do is we multiply both sides by 6. Same thing here. You take that and put a 6 in front of it like that. And that allows you to do this. Watch. You can cancel this, but the math really happens on this side, right? The numbers being multiplied. 6 times 35 is 210. So I'm going to go 210 is equal to 177 plus x. What do you need to do next? Your instinct. Your teachers have tried to teach this so bad and maybe failed. I don't know. Maybe they didn't do a good job at it. But you got to subtract 177 from both sides. This is honestly like if you want trades or certain jobs, like this is a basic skill to have, right? This is going to be 0. And so basically I'm going to put the x on here, right? And what's 210 minus 177? That's 33. What units are we talking about here? Yards. 33 yards. This is your answer. to achieve the goal, the next drive must be 33 yards. If you do more, it's even better, right? But you just figured out that it's 33 yards. Does this number seem logical?
Yeah.
What do you base it on? Right, previous. You base it on previous data here. You look at, have they even come close or surpassed the 33 yard? Absolutely, right? The team has done that before. So yes, it's reasonable. Looking at previous drives, 45 yards, right? Example, 45 yards, I'll say. It is reasonable. It is logical. And the reason why they need to only do 33 is because they've done so well on other games, right? Or other drives. Like they've done 45, 43, 41, right? Like they've done well. There's no 41, sorry, 44. And so then you don't have to work as hard for this next drive to make that average. Remember, if you were to make bar graphs, average would be that line that tells you this is, if you were to spread it out equally, that's how much it would be. Okay, let's do one more here. One more. So I'm going to give you two examples today of backwards. Ready? I'm going to do this a little quicker. Watch this. In 1 week, the mean number of passengers, that's average, right? The mean number of passengers per day is 1,290. You know what a turnstile is? Probably not. Canadian Tire on Garden City, like you know when you go across that bar, it counts you, right? Like certain places, if you take the train or whatever. Me in South America, every time I go into the bus, I have to go through one of those. It counts the number of passengers that come in. That's a turnstile. So anyways, it counts it, right? So it counts 1290 on average a day, right? Mean is average. All right. And then we have how many people pass through the turnstile on Sunday, right? Where is Sunday? Look at this. It's way over here. That's going to be X for us. So you're basically given Monday all the way to Saturday, but not Sunday. Okay. So let's answer that. I will do this. Yeah, well, the average is total passengers divided by, in this case, days. Right? So if you add up all these numbers and you divide it by the number of days, you're in business. What's the average in this case? We're given that. That's 1290. So I'm going to go 1290 is equal to, how many days are we going to consider if we consider Sunday as well? 7. Yeah, put that 7 there. And now watch this. I'm not gonna show how I add everything up. I'm just gonna take these here, add them up, and just put that number here for now. If you do that, it's 8,102 passengers from Monday to Saturday. So it stands to reason that you would have to take those, add Sunday to it, and then you're in business. Right now, it's what needs to happen first? the division thing. Get rid of the division. So this is how I do it. I put brackets on what's already there and just put the 7. You're multiplying the whole thing by 7. And make sure you do the same thing on the other side. So if this is 500, you go 500, 500, right? Simple as that. So cancel, cancel. It's actually not canceling, you know that, right? I don't know if your teachers ever told you. It's really 7 divided by 7 is 1. So it's just as if this whole thing is multiplied by 1, which doesn't make a difference. Okay, 7 times 1290, that's 9,000. 9,030 is equal to 18102 plus x. So the brackets are now gone. So you subtract both sides. It's multiplying and then subtracting. I can guarantee you that part. You just have to set it up right. This cancels. X is equal to. If you get a negative, go back and try it again. Right? 928 passengers or people, right? Does it make sense to have, because if you look at the previous numbers, they're pretty high. All of a sudden you get that. It's an outlier and it's Sunday, right? Most people do not work on a Sunday, right? It does. It does. Since most people don't work on Sundays and do not or don't use transit. Okay. So this is backwards, guys. Backwards in a nutshell. I need you to try. I want you to go to page 116 and try. Actually, I think I might. I mixed it up. I meant to say 114. Page 114, 7 and 8. I want you to try 7, question 7, and then question 8 before we go, okay?